Read to Lead Africa.
It's day 3 living in the Read to Lead house. Housemates are getting accustomed to the life in the house and their early morning cleaning routines.
Okay. Shot the kitties. Virgin of Africa. We're up to the top. I wanna be, yeah. I will always fit to lead. Never go down while we make sure I conquer. I will be the best.
Their exercise and fitness routines have not also been forgotten.
This is the way we start in the day. This is the way we start in the day.
And who isn't fit for workout? Treasure!
Don't sweep again.
Okay, so only the notes.
McGeorge and next door neighbors worry about her. But other housemates continue with the exercise. Some housemates feel good with themselves after the exercise.
The sporting activity this morning, how were you able to cope?
It was great.
It was great, sure?
Yes, sir.
No internal problem?
No.
The sporting activities this morning,
It was great.
you were panting?
Yeah.
Huh? You think you can cope tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Are you very sure?
Yes. The exercise really made me warm.
Warm, it made you warm. So you are very warm now. You are up and doing for today.
Yes, sir.
And ready for the battle.
Yes, sir.
But Kehinde shares Treasure's feelings.
When you were on the field, one of your colleagues dropped.
Yes, if someone is not used to things like that, it is actually getting too much, it's going to cause some kind of problem like that.
Okay, so supposing it happened to you.
So I'm going to feel bad because if I see the others on the field doing something and I'm the only exception, it's going to feel somehow, not going to feel good.
Read to Lead Africa.
Treasure, how are you feeling? Are you okay? You had some rough time this morning at the sporting arena. Are you better now? And you can cope with the day's activities. Are you sure? Is your roommate taking care of you? No? I thought you were going to smile. You're combining smiling and frowning.
Stand up and TV, you gotta stand, you gotta stand your guys. Beat to lead,
Treasure manages to appear for breakfast with fellow housemates.
you gotta rise and stand.
And after breakfast, they hit the library for a major group contest,
Sit down according to your groups.
the Treasure Hunt.
According to your groups. Sit down according to your groups. Pathfinders, Wingman, Crystal. Very nice. But hold on, it's not true. You guys are missing one member. Treasure. Treasure got a situation in the morning, so she has to rest. I guess she's been attended to already. Jimmy, yes. I tell You guys are fine. We can borrow them more. No. Do you understand what this is? We're going to hand over these things to you, in which your instructions actually is there. So you just follow what is hidden here. You get the book, and when you look into the book, there's some things that are hidden as well in there. So you keep going through the shelves and picking books and on trying to unravel the different treasures in them until you eventually finish your task.
Yeah, congratulations.
And you read congratulations. So read out what you have here first. Starting with the Pathfinders. Keep quiet and listen to what they have said. Read out what they have here.
For Group A Pathfinders, the title is A Primer of Financial Accounting by Shoyete Liko, Shelf 6, Class number 670 SOY, 80 number 2482. Go to Shelf 6.
Okay, sit down. Start with read yours.
From third course, by Shukriya, and Minashi Singh, go to the
So, chemistry for NCSE, we can do this and we can start go to shelf 5.
And flowing like if we begin by WQ, go to shelf.
Sorry?
Please begin by WQ, go to shelf.
Okay, great.
Do you have any questions?
Do you have any questions?
But what happens to the star strip? Their leader is Mason. She's probably at war with herself right now. Will her group be able to measure up to the Pathfinders who have 5 men? And the search for the treasure hidden in books begins without treasure.
Okay. Shady Kitties. Veggie Africa. We're off to the top. I wanna be, yeah. Are we always fit to lead? Never go down while we make sure I conquer. I will be the best I ever wanna be. I'm off to the sky so high. I know I can be the best I wanna be. When I walk so high, I know how we move on. I'm off to the mountain, rise and shine until the day. Bit too late and the best day. Make each other feel me.
Seems like they're making a lot of progress.
South Africa, and now we always be the best I wanna be. With Toledo, stand up and TV, you gotta stand, you gotta stand your rise. With Toledo, stand up and TV, you gotta stand, you gotta rise and stand. You gotta stand, you gotta rise and stand.
But the clock won't stop ticking.
I want to read, I want to study, I want to study hard, cause I want to be the best that I can do and always focus on my life I own, cause I want to be, I'm the future leader, always have the winner. I want to be always have we move on.
Whoa! The crystals seem to have completed their search in record time.
Stand up and TV, you gotta stand, you gotta stand and rise. With Toledo, stand up and TV, you gotta stand, you gotta rise and stand. Oh, you gotta stand, you gotta rise and stand. You gotta stand, you gotta rise and stand. I want to read, I want to study, I want to study hard, cause I want to read. I want to read, I want to study, I want to study hard, cause I want to read.
The Pathfinders are definitely not having a nice time here.
I want to study. body hard, cause I want to be with you, Lido. Stand up and TV, you gotta stand. You gotta stand on rise. With you, Lido. Stand up and TV, you gotta stand. You gotta rise and stand. You gotta stand. You gotta rise and stand.
But it's time up. The Grey Stouts take the lead.
You guys finish. I see it. Crystal, I mean, you guys know what you're doing. Are you serious? How? With your double eyes, you can't even find. What's the problem? What's the challenge? You can't find the book, or you can't get a subscription. Okay, yeah, the books you found, you have them in your table, right? Yeah. Go back to your tables, everybody. The time is up now. Okay, the more you stay, you're losing more points. You know that. You have to do it now. You get your book.
Read to lead Africa.
One book carries 10 marks. That's 10%. So you're supposed to have a total of 10 books, which in total you should have 100%. Don't be using when to pray. So now you have that. Oh, that's why you need this money when fasting. Now you have a total of 10 books here, so which gives you guys, the Grey Stouts, 100%. My favorite group, the Glory Lights. The light that never quench. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Read to lead Africa.
70% glowing lights and the stars. 70% round. Now.
That's definitely a get well gift for Treasure, their house leader.
1, 2, 3. Hey, round of applause for that. Let me tell you something about success. Whenever you have a structure like this, it should propel you to work harder, right? And work on yourself. Look at where you were lacking. Look at the problems you had. Probably you were not fast enough, you were not sharp enough, or you weren't smart enough, or you weren't cooperative enough. You guys need to work together more as a team, and this should only make you work harder. Okay?
Read to lead Africa.
I'm impressed by the stars too. Yeah. They did well in the first task and the second one.
Yeah.
And they're just 3.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I really do hope Obasi gets up real quick and joins the team. Do you understand? Alright. So it's going to be a good one anyway. So let's see how the day goes.
Read to lead Africa.
The competition we actually take today seems very interesting and it's good. At least this is as the beginning of the competition and it's promised to be very interesting.
It's much more than what we expected.
I feel great but very strenuous.
One of the things I love most is challenges. So I love it in a place where I'm able to develop my brain, I'm able to use my brain, because especially the first one, it requires you to be fast. Every part of your body is working, so you'll be challenged. People are shouting, I found it. You'll be like, oh God, where can I find this, where can I find this? Running here and really looking for things, and there you are making, there are some things that are going on in your body. You are, even apart from exercise, it's a part of exercise because you are going here and there, every part of your body is working, and so you are being challenged to try more, you are being challenged to work more. Even there are times that you just be like, I can't find this book. He's not here. He should be here now. If he's not here, they can't. And by this, so your brain is working. You are thinking all the way. So it was very interesting and very challenging. So great.
They did this competition mainly to show cooperation, discipline, and hard work.
I feel like I'm missing out.
Read to lead Africa.
After gathering energy from a quick lunch, they converge again for an afternoon lecture on reading, the key to academic success, from Mrs. Bukola Ladoja, founder and president of RASDA.
What we have tonight to teach you is reading as a key to academic success. I hope you have your pen and paper here. For anyone to live a meaningful and fulfilled life, there are certain habits or ways of life you must cultivate. Let me just tell you some of these habits that we have that people actually describe, but some of them, not all of them, like the self-discipline, to be a self-disciplined person, you know. They describe something like that. This man is very disciplined. He has integrity. Have you heard it before? That you see somebody has integrity, is disciplined. And apart from that, they describe somebody as a self-determined person. Self-determination. It's an habit also. That they describe that person is very determined. Whatever I want to do, he do it with serious determination. And sometimes you have the habit of having great passion for what you are doing, you know. You are passionate about it, you are very serious, you do it with all your might, with all your strength, with everything in you. So it shows you are passionate about what you are doing. So it's an habit also. Decency and healthy living conditions, they are habitual also. Are you getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
You know what I'm trying to say? Decency. When you have a habit of living decently, you dress well, your environment is neat. You know, some people are so rough, they are so dirty. When you see their environment, you can actually know who they are. You know, our appearance matters, our environment matters. Where we live can actually depict who we are. Do you know that? Where we live, our environment can depict who we are. And but one most important habit as a student that we are supposed to cultivate is the habit of reading. Are you getting it? That's, as a student, that's the most important habit, because that habit determines where you get to in life. The habit of reading. Reading continuously, reading vividly, reading like you eating. You know, there is no student that can survive without food. So no student can survive without reading.
Read to lead Africa.
Reading can be defined as the process of looking at and comprehending the meaning of written and printed words from visual representation of symbols.
Read to lead Africa.
And it involves recognition and sometimes verbalization of symbols which represent sounds in human speech. Why the English language is very difficult? The English language is difficult because the English language has more than 500,000 words. And the English language that has more than 500,000 words, how many words have I been opportune to come into contact with? So the more you read, the more you come into contact with these words. Are you trying to see why reading extensively is very important? Reading extensively is very, very vital and very important, because the English language is a very, very wide language in terms of words. 500,000 words, which is 500,000, is formed by only 26 alphabets. We call this alphabet also phonemes. We call them letters. And out of the 26 grammains and letters, it represents between 44 and 43 phonemes, the sounds. You get it? Depending on how the words are pronounced. It depends on how you pronounce a word that gives you the meaning you will adduce to it. So, and for example, let me tell you an example. You know letter A? You know letter A has 7 different sounds. Do you know? You know? It has 7 different sounds. Let me tell you the sounds now. As in father. Father. You know, the A in father is pronounced father. As in eat. You eat. E-A-T. As in plate. P-L-A-T-E. As in away. A-W-A-Y. As in car. Car. C-A-R. As in hair. A-I-R. And as in fall. F-A-W-L. Fall. Fall down. Okay, so letter A has 7 different sounds. Reading takes place when the reader understands what he reads. You understand? That is when reading takes place. It is when you understand what you are reading that you can say reading has taken place. And that means you have decoded what has been encoded. Comprehension is at the center of reading. Anybody that cannot read and understand cannot say boldly that I have read anything. Reading has skills. There are reading skills. You can't just not be reading for reading's sake. You are just wasting your time. You must read skillfully. So, you know, there is one researcher, we call him Clay. In 1991, he said something that I want to quote for you now. Clay like in the clay we used to mold. C-L-A-Y, 1991. Good readers must match their thinking with that of the author. For you to be a skillful reader, for you to be a fast reader, you must read semantically, relating your reading to your environment.
Read to lead Africa.
So I will briefly go to the importance of reading now, the advantages of reading. Number 1, reading makes us knowledgeable.
Read to lead Africa.
What you know that others don't know is what makes you tick. You understand? So that was how reading exalted Ben Carson suddenly. You understand what I'm saying now? So that reading can take you to any level. It can take you to any level because when Ben Carson was reading those books, he did not know he's already storing something in his database. You understand? He, subconsciously, you are adding to your database, to your mental database, and it may not be useful immediately. But the day there will be anything that you will be called upon, and you just say, no, I know the solution. You people, you are the movers and shakers of the Nigerian economy tomorrow.
Read to lead Africa.
Reading also improves your vocabulary and language skills. Reading improves your vocabulary and language skills. When we read regularly, we are exposed to several different literary styles. Are you aware? Yes. You know, Wole Soyinka's literary style is different from Chinua Achebe. You understand? Yes. So when you read, even both foreign and local books, you are exposed to different literary styles. And when you keep on reading like that, you keep on learning new languages, new vocabularies. And I want to sound a note of warning now. Whenever you are reading, keep a dictionary beside you.
Read to lead Africa.
Reading boosts your creativity. It boosts it. It makes it become bigger and better. It boosts your creativity. You know. Do you know what creativity is? Who can tell me what creativity is? Tell me what creativity is.
It simply means the ability to sit and think how to construct things, the constructive power of the mind.
Clap for her. The constructive power of the mind. Who can tell me another meaning to creativity?
Interestingly, Treasure refuses to be left out of it.
In my own definition, creativity means being able to form things up, to create, to make things that make sense to your mind and to the mind of others.
To make things that make sense. All of them are correct. But I have there that creativity is the ability to identify unusual or novel connections. Novel means new connections to a given set of facts. Creativity is the ability to identify unusual or novel. Novel means new connections to a given set of facts. Have you gotten it? And creativity requires the individual to be knowledgeable in several areas of life, so that you'll be able to make connections to this your creativity. You connect A to B, B to C through creativity.
Read to lead Africa.
Your creativity can only come to light through the connections you make with facts that you have gathered from books. On this planet Earth, nothing is new. Everything is like a vicious cycle. You know a vicious cycle? You've read it in maybe economics or biology or anything. A vicious cycle is something that links each other until it forms a cycle. Nothing is like this. From A to point B to point C to point E to point D, and like that, and it's revolving around. And that is what knowledge is in this world. When you are in the university and you are trying to write your thesis, your project, it is basic that you have to do what they call literature review. Do you know what they call literature review? Researching into what others have done in the past, in the same area, in your own chosen topic. You understand? So you try to know what others have done. It is through what others have done that you are going to build on. So there's a foundation for knowledge. So nobody is coming with any new thing. You are just adding to knowledge. So before you can bring in any new thing, you must go back and look at what others have done. So that's why nobody can just go to the university and you say you want to write your project and just go and do research and you come back and tell your lecturer, this is what I found out. He will tell you that, okay, who have done it before? In fact, literature review attracts more marks. You must read wide to know who and who have done this that I'm doing. What have they found out? Is what I'm finding out the same thing they have found out? Or am I making a difference? You understand? But where I'm going is, there is no new knowledge. Every knowledge has been there. We are just building on it. So that's why we must seek to know what has been done through books. No one is an island. You must seek to know what has been done. You must seek to know what is available, to know what next. You are to add to the economy, you are to add to your nation, you are to add to the continent.
Read to lead Africa.
You can't become a giant without knowing what others have done. And how can you know what others have done? Through reading. Reading makes you to become smarter, a smarter person. I think I've said that before. Something that is similar to what I've said now. Reading makes you to become a smarter person. How do you become a smarter person? What is the difference between ordinary and extraordinary? The extra in it. That's the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. So you become an extraordinary person when you know what I don't know. That's why sometimes some people will tell you, and you're like, oh, wow, really? You mean it? So when you know what others don't know, it makes you to become smarter, and you like, I'm better than you. You are better off. Because reading makes you to become a solid person. Nobody will know, and it will be respected. Reading is using much of your time on what is profitable, which is reading. Like I always tell your mates that, look, what God has given everyone equally without cheating is 24 hours. You know you can manipulate the hair. Somebody can be in the sun and you be in the air conditioner. You know you can still manipulate that as a rich person. But whether you are rich or you are poor, what you have is 24 hours. And I always tell you that the quality you put into your 24 hours a day, write it down, determines the quality of your future. Are you getting it? The quality of every minute, every second, every hour, every day, in that 24 hours, the way you manage your 24 hours determine the kind of person you become. You get it? So that is why you must manage your time judiciously. Especially the more you devote that 24 hours, the higher percentage of it to reading, the better person you become, better, far, far better than your mates. At least I'll give you one good example, Ben Carson. We have a lot of people like that in our whole society here. You know, we have very successful people who read through to success. They read their way to success. Not by accident, not by... You can see in them that they read their way to success. And let me tell you, what makes the difference between Korea today and our nation, Nigeria, is in terms of knowledge. Whatever is coming from the Asian countries is because they are giving more time to researching and researching. What is research? You are searching and researching and researching. You understand? So, and that's what is making them to start to stand head high with the advanced nations, with the world shakers today. See China. See what is becoming of China through knowledge. So there is no shortcut to success as a student. There is no shortcut to passing exams, except you go back to the basics, except you invest more time on reading. You spend less time on watching the television. So let me just quickly give you a few factors, few things that is affecting reading culture. You know, that is inhibiting reading culture, that is hindering reading culture. You know, at least we have known that it's no news, it's no more news that the reading culture is dying in Nigeria. You know, and according to UNESCO statistics, that we have 46% illiterates in Nigeria, which is even questionable. I believe we have more than that. UNESCO says we have 46% illiterates, not literate, illiterates. But I can put a question mark on that. And let me tell you some of the factors. Number one, is low purchasing power. The low purchasing power of the common man in Nigeria. You know, some people, they love their children to read, but they cannot even afford to buy food for their children, not to talk of buying books. But aside from that, we've seen even the children of rich people that can afford anything, and their children are still not reading. So that is why what will make me to tell you the next point, which is the influence of ICT, information communication technology. The influence of it on reading culture. You know. So many distractions now that can make us not to want to read. And that is killing our economy. Because it is in what we sow into the economy that we reap. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you don't sow knowledge, you cannot reap the dividend of development. You know? So, and by the time you are a tabula rasa, do you know what psychology is called tabula rasa? Empty slate. Tabula rasa in psychology is empty slate. As I pronounce it, tabula rasa. Tabula rasa, empty slate. That's the name. So, when everybody is an empty slate, what can this nation become? So that is why you, as the managers of our economy tomorrow, must strive to make sure you do what others don't do to become what others can never become. Because a non-reader can never be a leader. Do you know that? A non-reader can never be a leader. Because you need knowledge to lead. Because you are a leader because you are doing what others don't know how to do. You understand? You are not a leader just as a figurehead. It is because something is making you think. There's a difference between you and the others. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why you must invest your time today in loading yourself with enough information, because you are the luckiest generation that Nigeria has ever produced, that the world has ever produced. You are the generation that we are looking up to make a change. Do you know why? You are the generation that has the informations at your fingertips. Do you know? You have the informations at your fingertips. You have e-library. You can even read on your phone without going to any library. If you are using all this information technology that we are talking about, if you use it positively, you will become better, far, far better than our own generation.
Read to lead Africa.
Make reading a continuous habit. You know, because some of us, we have the habit of, it's only when the exams is approaching that we wake up to go and read. So we read voraciously, we visit the library, we keep all night and read and read and read, purposely to do what? To pass the exams. If you are reading to pass exams, you are not a knowledgeable person. Do you know? They call you a rote reader, rote learner, R-O-T, because you are reading for a purpose. So that's why we that are researchers of reading, when we say Nigerians are not readers, some people will say, no, you are. We read, but we read for a purpose. An ICANN student will read because he wants to pass ICANN. And he will be a chartered accountant, but not knowledgeable. Because all what he knows is all about accounting. But somebody that wants to make a change will read widely. You know, we read about the environment. I think some people, when they are even saying the way there is climatic change now, they will say, what are you talking about? Soldier of Herod, does he want to read? Because they are not learning about what is happening around them. You know, so you can be an accountant and still be an illiterate in so many things because you are not a wide reader. You know, so like I told you, you are the movers and shakers of this continent, the Africa. And by so doing, do what others are not doing now, so that you can be the leader.
Read to lead Africa.
Do you have questions to ask before Mommy goes? Just in case you don't know, Mommy is an author and publisher of more than 3 books, and even 12 books. A round of applause for Mommy here. And one of the books, which I know very well, is The Legendary People of Oyo State. Mommy, am I right? And that was written in 1992 or 93. How many of you were born then? Okay. You see, millennial babies, internet kids. So do we have questions to ask our Mommy before she leaves us?
You said we should read widely, and not only on our core subjects. That means we should read anything and everything. what if we read widely and we also study for our examinations, but we're not as good as the so-called intelligent students in that field? And my second question is, what is the difference between intelligence and brilliance?
The simple answer I will tell you is this. Somebody is reading basically to pass ICANN exam, like I made an example. Maybe he had the best results in ICANN. Somebody will call him a brilliant person, you know, that is so brilliant, he made maybe the best grade in ICANN. But if you have such a person, like I've made an example about, do you know anything about the greenhouse, or the climatic change, or the this and that? You say, what are they calling that? What is that? So, brilliant, an intelligent person, you know, when you read wide, it makes you sharper, it makes you more intelligent. You may not be brilliant in your core subject, you may not be becoming first, but you will be highly educated.
How can we change the mindset of people towards education? Some people are like, what's the essence of going to school with your certificate, with everything, and without much to do? And we still, some people will say, yeah, they are dropouts, they are people that are not educated, and yet they are rich. They have money, they have desire. So how can we change their mindset towards education, that they will know that if they are educated, if there's something else to that thing that they know, they can still achieve more than they have?
You don't need education only to succeed. You need education as a living. You understand what I'm saying? So tell your friends that they should try ignorance, they will die early.
Read to lead Africa.
It's been a very tedious day, and it is time to unwind by exploiting the moonlight.
Read to lead Africa.
Hello friend, how is your day? Where have you been? It's been a long time. Thank you. Whoa, everybody. How you doing?
My party. You have your father at the farm today? Of course, I went to that farm now. No, you didn't. You didn't go, my friend. You are lying. Why are you lying? Say the truth. I even got some cassava. Oh, indeed. Where is the cassava? That is it. That is it. Ashake. Yeah, my friend. How's your day? I hope you enjoyed your day. I enjoyed it. So I didn't have to. What's that? Ashake. Yes, my friend. Run away. Oh, Anike, how's your day? How's everything? My day was nice. I have just for you. What's that? Ashake. I can see you up to something. Say what you want to say. I'm a very good friend. Who was that boy I saw you with on your way? Which boy was that? Oh, Ashake. Hi, Ashake. Oh my God. You have a boyfriend. morning crying like I know this morning crying here, Julifa. What happened?
Leave her alone. That's how she be crying like a baby.
Oh,
She's
my God. You your pot again.
She's going to kill you. She's
You always bring your pot all the time.
She may change her mind.
Wow.
Read to lead Africa.
That's what my story says, as I know. There was a girl, her name was Blessing. This girl, at all ramifications, she was comfortable. She was the only child of her parents, but the parents were not so rich, but at least they were comfortable with what they have, and they took care of her with everything they had because she was all they had. Now she was primary education, secondary education. She was always the top in her class because she had everything she wants. There was nothing she needed that she didn't get. She was very obedient, not proud. She wasn't because she was brilliant. She wasn't proud. She did everything that she was supposed to do because she was comfortable with everything she had. She shared whatever she had with people who doesn't have. She was very kind and nice to everybody. But later, Blessing was admitted into the university. On getting there, she was very serious. First year, second year, she was always top in her department. But you know what happened? One day, she followed one of her friends to a party. On getting to the party, she met a man in the party. Well, at first, he didn't want to notice him, he did activity, but when it was so much for her, she agreed. So, on going home, she met the man on the way, and the man offered to take her home. But as they were talking this thing, she had forgotten that she was going home. The man offered that she should come and know his house.
And did she follow him?
She followed him to his house. On getting there, the man showed him everything in the house. They were talking, gisting, watching films. She didn't know that the time was fast spent. By the time she looked at the time, it was 12 midnight. And you know what? The gate to their street was always locked by 9:30 p.m. Okay, what should she do? She decided.
Well, what should she do?
You sleep in the house of sleep.
You want her to sleep in the house of a stranger?
No. She should go beside the gate to their street.
Oh, she should go and sleep at the gate beside their street.
To their street.
Continue with the story.
I'll tell you.
Continue with the story.
I'll tell you what she did. The man offered to let him sleep in one of the guest rooms.
Okay.
Let her sleep rather. On getting there, she was afraid though because she had never been in such a situation. She didn't know what to do. But on getting to the house, she entered the room, locked the door at the back and removed the key, kept it. So, you know what? He was not so wise. The man wasn't at peace with himself, looking for what to do that, this lady can't go like this. He started looking for everything in the house, walking around everywhere, searching for the key to the room. He found the key and opened. At last, he raped her.
He did what?
He raped her. He raped Blessing. What did she do? She went home. She went home sleeping. 2 months later, Blessing discovered that she was pregnant. But you know what happened? She went to the man's house to tell him that she was pregnant. On getting there, can somebody tell me what happened?
The man died. The man died.
The man was a servant. To the party. The master was not around when he brought her home. What did Blessing do? Somebody from a decent home, from a decent family with a promising future and a promising career, end up marrying a servant. So my advice to everybody here tonight and my viewers at home is that be cautious and be careful with everything you do, even with your friends, even people you think are your best friends. Be very careful because you can't trust anybody. And at all times, you have to apply your brain in anything you are doing. Always think deep.
Cause I want to lead. I want to read, oh, I want to study. I want to study hard. Cause I want to lead. I want to read, oh, I want to study. I want to study hard.